Hey guys, it's Heather from Tomatoes, Puppies, and Everything Gardening. I just killed a mosquito that was trying to get me. It's only like, I don't know, May 13th, and the mosquitoes are super bad. But today's video is medias res. So we're starting kind of at the action part of things, and we're going to go back in time in just a second so I can tell you the story. But you can see I have these little roots growing. And so this video is about cuttings and propagating for free plants. So this is the part where I'm going to say, let's go back in time and I'll explain everything. But this video also involves kind of sprucing up my walkway, putting down some cypress mulch to help with the bug control, which I see a creepy crawly. He's coming to get me, but I'm using my green stock as a camera tripod today and it's working out perfectly. So let's get started. Let's go see the walkway and let's talk about two different plants that I propagated from cutting. Okay, before I leave my comfy little spot here next to the green stock, I'm going to show you the two plants that we are talking about today. Well, kind of maybe three, but we're waiting a little bit on this guy. So I've also got, this is carnation. So we're just going to put that aside. We're not talking about that one today. We're talking about Snapdragon. And you can see some of the cuttings are starting to develop roots. Some are not. They just need a little more time. And then we are talking about, so we got Snapdragon, and we are talking about Impatiens. So, this poor little plant. I guess I just need to say, I'm going to put the video in the description because I made a video 3 months ago on taking cuttings from Impatiens and saving a lot of money that way. So I'll put that in the description, but basically this cutting came off of a cutting that came from a seedling I saved the night we were going to get our first frost in the fall. I took it in my house. I just put it in a little container. It did extremely well. Let's see if I have a picture. I'll put it here. And then eventually I moved that guy outside, but before I did that, I took like maybe 7-8 cuttings off of it. And the cutting plants are in the ground. You're going to see that in this video. But I also had some pieces break off, and these are the ones that I rooted from those broken cutting pieces. So it's like unlimited free plants. So now we can get started. And this is from a plant I actually bought. I do love pink Snapdragon. So I saw this in a nursery. It was only $2.49 for this huge plant. Actually, let's go look at the mother plant of both of these first, and then we'll get started back in time from the beginning a couple weeks ago when I started this process with these cuttings. Okay, back into the water for now, but guys, what is this? What kind of bug is this? Or I think it's some kind of eggs. Let's see if I can focus. Probably not. There we go. Okay, so what is it? Are these eggs? This has been sitting here for about 45 minutes. It's not moved, so I don't think it's a bug. It's definitely got a pattern. It's kind of cool. I think I'll make a short about it so I can see if anyone has ever seen that before. Try to do a Google image, but nothing comes up. You can see it's microscopic, very teeny tiny. Right, Tonto? All right, let's go out front. We're in the front yard, and this is the mother plant that I took all of those cuttings from. You can see it's getting ready to bloom. And now we have, what, gosh, probably what, 8, 9, 10 free plants. Plus, this plant looks perfectly healthy and fine, and you can't even tell that I took the cuttings. And this pepper looks like he is ready for that cage to come off. When I bought this Snapdragon plant, I knew it would be a perfect candidate for taking lots of cuttings because it just had mega growth going on it and suckers everywhere. So what I did is take cuttings immediately below a leaf node so that I would get some good root development, and then just stuck them in a cup of water. This is the original Impatiens plant that I had in my house all winter long, and I took 3 arms off of that plant before I stuck it in the ground. Before planting those impatient cuttings, I really need to work on my walkway, so I thinned and divided some of the heuchera or corbels, cleaned up the area really, really well, took off some of the dead leaves at the bottom of the heuchera, and then I had these old, they really were in that cup of water. I did change the water often, but The roots were really getting to the point where I needed to get them in the ground. They had been living in water for so long. So I interplanted between each heuchera or corbel some of these cuttings. So now you kind of know what's going on in the video with the cuttings and the walkway. I wanted to show you the original seedling that I brought in the night of our first frost in the fall. You can see where I had taken cuttings, but it's still a full plant. It looks happy, healthy. And some of the cuttings are now over here. There's one. And there's one. And then I just kind of planted them in between each of the corbels and heuchera. I mean, corbel or heuchera. There's one in there. So now what I need to do is we're gonna, well, not me, I'm gonna slightly weed, put down cardboard over here, continue the cypress mulch, and then I'm also gonna put the cypress mulch between the heuchera, you know, leaving a space for the little impatiens to poke out. And everyone should be happy and hopefully less pests and bugs. So that's what we need to get done today.
The next day.
Before we get started with the cypress mulch, I want to go ahead and cut back my phlox here. This is woodland phlox. It has a beautiful scent. There's only one bloom left. I'm going to leave this one trailing down, and then I will just give it a chop, cut back, and then hopefully we will get another flush of beautiful scented purple flowers here, maybe 2-3 months. We'll see. So I'm going to cut just above a leaf node far down on the plant. That will encourage it to branch out and also put out a new flush of growth so we can have a second blooming cycle. So now this little walkway section is complete until next year. I do not cut back my forget-me-nots because I want to have all the free forget-me-nots that are coming my way because they self-seed so easily. So I know it looks ugly now, but they will produce a lot of seeds. This container will probably need some liquid fertilizer, you know, 2 or 3 times throughout the rest of the year. And I may top it with a little bit of shredded hardwood to keep the moisture in. But the rest of this walkway is just done. I'm just going to wait on the impatiens to get bigger and start blooming. The heuchera or corbel, they are perfectly fine now. And I think it looks good. So you can see there's more forget-me-not here that looks just a disaster, especially with all the pollen kind of interspersed between the seed pods there. But it's okay. I'd rather have free plants than cut it back. And then I actually have a coneflower bare root trying to come up here that I planted. I may need to cut a few more of these off to give it more light, but we'll see. We'll see how it does. So there we go. Project right side of walkway done. Do need to get over here and do the same with the cypress mulch, weed, put down some cardboard, put down the mulch. I did plant a couple of my cucumbers here already, and I'll probably plant at least 3 more varieties. And I think that'll look really pretty. With the few snapdragons that did develop some tiny little roots, I thought let's go ahead and put a few in the ground and see how they do, because I have this empty space here in this new flower bed that I put together in the front yard recently. And I do have some bulbs coming up and I really need some color. So I thought let's go ahead and put them here right in front of the peacock orchids. And I think they're going to look really pretty. I hope this video encourages you to root some plants.